Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Aloha. Hi everyone. So I was thinking of a name we could call these videos, which may become a podcast, although I don't like the word podcast to be honest. But if I did have to choose a name, a title for some of the things I'd like to share with you, I think it'd have to be something like Daggers and Pearls. I think there's a reason behind that, and I'd like to explain that to you. So daggers, especially Arabic daggers, have a very symbolic place in my part of the Arab world. I am a Khaliji, I am from the UAE, and daggers once upon a time were worn as a decoration, the same way the Celts and the Scots used to have daggers as part of their national dress. Not so long ago, we did have the same. And I think daggers are intriguing to me because they are a symbol in many ways of the truth. And even back then, people used to wear daggers because they would have to engage life, and some of that engagement would end up with the ending of a life. Another way of looking at that is that people not so long ago in our part of the world lived a life where they had the fact of death, the fact of their end in this place as an everyday possibility. Whereas today we all seem to not believe in death, act like it's not there. We try and push it back as far away as possible, like it's some dirty, contaminating thing. Whether it's changing our faces, changing how we dress, everything is just an avoidance of the inevitable occurrence that occurs, that happens to us all. Whereas once upon a time that wasn't the case, and I think people lived more healthy in that sense. The other reason I like to use the word dagger in this particular context is it's a symbol for truth. By that I mean, just like death is a truth, the truth in our lives often hurts. I think the Russians have a beautiful saying, and I like it a lot. They say it's better to be slapped by the truth than kissed with a lie, or something to that effect. And a truth that has something to do with your self-development, your personal self-development, often hurts. Biblically, give you another example. Biblically, I can't remember the verse, please forgive me, but I know in the Bible it says that the truth shall set you free. And that's so true and so beautiful. But notice, and I will borrow this remark from my friend Joseph, who says, notice that when that's said in the Bible, it doesn't say that this truth is going to feel good. Yes, the truth will set you free, but that doesn't mean it's going to make you feel good. And I think here lies a really big question for everyone. And I ask this question to myself before I ask it to everybody else, and I invite you to do the same for yourself. Where in your life does a truth hurt? Where do you hear something and see something and it reminds you of a truth that you know, that you feel in your bones, and it hurts? You'd be very, very wise to look at that particular place. Because it's only when we confront it and we know what that truth or what that pain is, will we actually be liberated from the truth. So there's a price to pay. And that's why most people, in all honesty, with all my respect to them, and I'm not perfect, of course, but most of us just live a lie. Most of us live a lie to ourselves. You can fool other people. We're really good, really smart at hiding and lying to ourselves. We've narrowed it down to a fine art, but what does that do? It does nothing. It's like you're trying to cheat death. You will always lose. You won't be living the life. And that kind of life really does require an embracing of hurt, of pain. We're conditioned again to look at pain as a bad thing. But were we not all born through pain? Did our mom not go through excruciating pain to deliver us? So if we're born through it, why do we live a life that's just running away from it? If one of the most beautiful things that ever happened to the world was you being born, you being here with us through the corridor of pain, then surely there's a significance to that. So the thought that I'd like to share with you today is to look at everything around you that hurts in a way that you know is true. Not true to somebody else, true to you. Nobody but you. Nobody but the person that you're with all day long, which is yourself, knows that it hurts. And it's a question of being even more brave and investigating. And that leads us to where I'd like to speak about in the next episode, inshallah. So enjoy discovering your daggers of truth. Shukran.